Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Paige and I'm going to talk about the current energy that we are experiencing. Today is, I never have the date with me. Today is Tuesday, October 29th. And I felt a big shift in energy this morning. Where do I begin? We've all heard of the term, the veil is thinning, or the veil is thin, especially at this time of year, October, November into December. We do have a slowdown phase in our energy field and in our consciousness that allows us, if we really truly follow the slowdown, to tap in and connect to the spirit realms and even our higher self, our guides, a lot clearer. So what I've been experiencing in the last week and a half or so, ever since I got severely poisoned and burned by English ivy vines in my yard. It's really bad. It's starting to heal, but I had to take some time to sit with that because it reminded me of a time when I was a child. I was a teenager. I was probably about 13, 14 years old. And there was a time where my dad was coming to pick up me and my brother and sister to go to his house for the weekend. My parents were divorced and I didn't want to go. I felt this very strong. I had made new friends. I just moved to Pennsylvania. I had made new friends that were really I was really vibing with them and wanted to spend the night at my new friend's house. So I hid in the woods while my dad came to pick us up and picked up my brother and sister. Now, this is back when there were no cell phones, no nothing. So you could just disappear into the woods as a kid, and that was a normal thing. I disappeared into the woods and hid, and I watched his car drive away eventually, and then strolled back down to my mom's house to tell her I'm going to spend the night at my friend's house. Now, mind you, I did get scolded or this, you don't do that, type of thing. But I didn't understand fully the repercussions of how that impacted or made my father feel without me being actually just straightforward and honest with him. I would really like to stay back and be with my friends this weekend, because as an empath, I knew that alone was going to trigger deep wounds within him. Anyway, fast forward, now 53 years old, just cutting back English ivy in my from my trees here, and then receiving, especially right in here, the bubbles and blisters are so bad in between my two fingers, which is the exact same hand and fingers that this happened to me before in an extreme case. I had major bubbles that doctors were taking pictures of it because they'd never seen anything quite like it. And I talked to my mom about it too. She's like, oh, I remember that. So I definitely paid the price for that. This time around, it just brought that memory back up, but then tied it in with other relationships with men that I've had in my lifetime where I chose to not be straightforward and more of oh, they'll figure it out. Or, you're not really feeling or sensing me. And it really is going back to an empath of, they're not going to understand me anyway. Whatever I say is going to hurt them. So this is the easiest way for me to exit the situation, which is not at all how I want to operate going forward. So lesson learned for sure. But even more so, and I am going to pull some cards, even more so, this morning I woke up. I had been feeling a little bit, I don't want to say under the weather, but almost as if I were to push my body too much, I would start to feel cold and flu symptoms arise. So again, it was honoring the body, listening to the body, having a lot of times in between work where I would just rest. And I get tired of that. My physical makeup and my body, my energy requires me to move. So I do find myself doing, dance movements and things at nighttime. It's usually before I go to sleep, I get the zoomies, and I'll do that. But this morning I woke up, the last 2 mornings, I've woken up and started to do yoga, although the hand makes it a little bit difficult, and some other. So as I was exercising this morning, doing my Pilates routine, it triggered a memory in me again of the density I had been in one other time. I mean, we go in and out of extreme levels of density and then, our own energy. Because I was married and deeply connected to someone else, that we shared a similar wounding, the trauma bonding. I wasn't aware of energy then. There were just phases where I would just get pulled into this depression, and I've never had that before until that 13 or 13-year marriage, 15-year relationship. I started to find myself going into these cycles of depression off and on. And I noticed that my husband would be in a deep depression at that time. And so I would be able to snap out of it and really kind of help his energy snap out of it. I did that for years until eventually, I want to say, what year was this? It was probably 2014, I want to guess. 2013, 2014. I know we were redoing all the flooring and things in our house. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I got sucked back into this deep darkness, and I noticed my husband wasn't. And so I was like, this is mine. And it pulled me deeper and deeper and deeper down to the point where I had only enough energy to get up and go to work and come home and lay back down again. And that went on for months. And I knew there was something else going on. But at the time, I thought it was like physical. I knew it was emotional as well. But anyway, I had a flash of insight onto that, because we can tend to be really hard on ourselves or place blame outside of ourselves, and neither one is what this flash of insight was about. It was about understanding how through my life's journey there were periods of time that would pull me into this experience of depression. This experience of depression, interestingly enough, was linked to alcohol. Not that I had a big alcohol consumption thing. I've had phases, but that was never really something that stuck with me, but my father did. And every time I would be in a group situation where I sensed or felt the same type of energy and there was alcohol use, it repelled me. It made me like really sink into my shell and not want to be there or around anybody with that energy field. So this reminded me of a period of time where I was really struggling deeply with just being, just being me and just being in the environment that I was in. And I thought it was just me, but I recognize now the journey from last weekend onto now, because last weekend I was going to be doing an event, and we drove into this area, this town that I'd never heard of before. I'd never been. It was about 45 minutes from my house, and everything about the town reminded me of the place that I had been in, the town I had been in when I was having this deep, dark, depressive energy, and I felt it. And I'm like, I don't want to be in this energy. But I'm always a trooper for a lesson. So I'm like, okay, show me how far I've evolved. And lo and behold, we didn't end up staying for the event because everybody else that I was participating with felt the same energy I did. And I realized I had been placed in environments, life had placed me in environments, in towns and cities and groups and things that were totally out of alignment with my true nature. And, you know, I could stay in it for a while being myself, but eventually it pulled me into this dark vortex. So that was an interesting epiphany that I just realized. I have the ability to stay in my own energy field, regardless of where I'm at now, but also knowing the discernment of this doesn't feel right for me. I think I need to remove myself from this place, from this experience, from this relationship, from this whatever it may be. So that's a realization, and just showing me how far I had come from back then to where I am now, without being hard on myself or beating myself up. It was meant to show me, it was experiences that I had to have, based off of certain things that I had signed up for to experience or clear. So this is the energy that I'm clearing right now. And as I'm having these visuals, I'm doing these Pilates exercises and movements, and suddenly, boom, all of my energy came back like full force. And I felt like, I feel the chills now. I felt my energy field come back. So it seems as though, like, ever since the time that I received this poison burning stuff all over my body, it's everywhere, is when I got kind of pulled into an energy field, to reminisce, to bring back, to conjure back up a certain experience, a certain belief about myself or others, a specific area of density, bring it back up into my memory field, which a lot of times we're like, ugh, no, I don't want to remember that. No, this is important because I was breaking free from it. I was breaking through. I was clearing that energy. So again, sorry for the long story. This is what we are all going through right now. So it's important to, if memories or experiences or energies or entities that visit and they're like, oh, I remember this. Ooh, no. It's here to show us you can clear this now. This is your turn to break free and move beyond this. This does not define you. This is not who you are. This is a place in space and time that you had experienced. And it took you down. It took you way down, but you rose back up. You rose back up, and look at you now. This is our time to shine. So let's get a few cards for the message for today, because, whoo boy, I felt very strongly like I had to come on and at least give this message and relate it to my experiences of what I'm currently going through, and the guidance, it actually is exciting energy now that I'm not in it or thinking, here we go again, Paige, we're going back down into some hide in your cave, deep dark density, and your physical body is coming apart, and you can't even do your normal exercise, like all that inner critic voice. No more. Clearing you out. I see where I've been. I know where I've been. And now I don't have to blame myself for it. It was an experience that we are designed to have the experience and then clear it. It takes time. It takes time. But I feel like I'm really clearing this energy, not just for myself, but for all of those others who were a part of my life then. So again, it's not blaming. It's like, ooh, I don't like your energy. No, we all are connected. We all share, even if it's just a fragment of somebody else's energy or experiences, we are all interconnected in this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful energy. It's liberating, for sure. Let's get a message for us all. Are we going to use this one? Thank you. Reborn. Pluto. Oh, I have the chills. Scorpio. We are going through a rebirth process. And truly today, I feel the rebirth energy, which is really just like, I feel like myself again. I feel like myself again. I feel like I have my true energy back. And there's no other like narratives or stories as to why I didn't have it. Like, you've got mental health issues. You've got, you're lazy, you're crazy, you're all the chatter, all the things that our mind will say when we're not in our true power, our true vitality, our real energy field. Wow. Yeah. And sometimes a lot of us, we don't recognize or realize when we are depleted of our Shakti, our chi, our energy, that it's leaking out, it's hemorrhaging out somewhere else, or it's being siphoned off by something or someone else, even if it's just in the mind. But when you break out of it, and then you see it, and you're like, wow. Now, a lot of us will end up blaming other things. I didn't belong there. Well, no, we don't. That's not. But don't blame. Don't blame. Everything is very well designed for this earth school, for teaching us things, to evolve, to grow, to come into our own power. Nothing outside of me gives me power but me. I'm also the one that takes it away, because I believe something when I get sucked down into that dark hole. There's a familiarity, and it's like, this is just who I am. I have cycles where I just kind of go down and I can't get back up. And then I get into, we can spiral. Now this particular time wasn't one of those like really scary spirals of like, I'm never going to get out of this. Now I was very fully aware of it. It just doesn't feel good when you're in it. So, we humans we don't like to not feel good. So, I don't know. I just feel very grateful for the energy I woke up to this morning. And that is really lifting me up right now. We do have a lot of supportive energies in this deep dive of Scorpio that we're in. If you ever listen to Molly McCord, she's an astrologer on YouTube, and she talks about, and I don't right now have the planets, all of it. Look, the awakening, unearthing, the trumpets, ta-da! You're back! Wake up! This is what I felt like this morning. But anyway, Molly McCord talks about this specific lineup that's going on, especially at the new moon in Scorpio, which is Friday. She talks about it, calls it a cradle. There's a cradle aspect. So we are being cradled through this rebirth process, which can get dark and scary and creepy and just like, I don't like this. But go into it, because you're going to be ushered right out of it. Trust it. Judgment, the awakening, clearing away the debris, seeing your own energy start to shine, rise and shine, I'm hearing. Beautiful. I didn't think this video was going to be very long, but that's okay. Princess of Wands. There we are, waking up to our true nature. Waking up to our true nature. This Princess of Wands is a badass, really. This Princess of Wands goes to the beat of her own drum, right? Not a follower, not even a leader. It's just, I trust spirit, I trust myself, I trust the flow of life. And I trust that I'm going to follow, I'm going to be in my own energy. I can even create scenarios and experiences from my own energy field that I actually want to, that I enjoy, which is very true. When we're in that density, we can't see that. The veil gets lifted then for us to actually see what we've been in. Free spirit. Free spirit. Love it. Oh, the Lovers. Duality. Okay, beautiful. Bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. We are the co-creators. We are the co-creators. Are you creating from your heart and soul, or are you creating from the mind? I don't see that here. We are all going through a rebirth experience and understanding the duality, allowing the duality that we've experienced in life, especially with other people, to actually teach us about maybe some of the duality within ourselves. The Lovers is a card of mirroring. It can be a beautiful experience. It can also be a really creepy, scary, horrific experience, depending on what has been hidden within. So again, we are manifesting something new for ourselves. This is a rebirth period of time, and it is really important that we slow down enough to actually embrace and embody all of the journey, all of the parts, the good, the bad, the ugly, to see that none of it actually defines who we are. They are just experiences. That's all. They're just experiences. And with this Judgment card being the first one coming out, the other thing that I was shown back then, I was the one that was judgmental. Found myself surrounded by people who were judgmental. And that freaked me out. And that bothered me. Why are you all so judgmental? Well, you know why? Because I was. Same thing. You know, why are we surrounded by assholes? Well, we've got the asshole inside of us somewhere, and it's time for us to actually see that so we can clear it. Clear it out of the energy field that we are experiencing so that we can create from our true passion, from our true nature. This is the message for today. I hope that you found this to be helpful for you. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care. Bye.